Jerry Deach, your turn. Come on up. Do you know everybody in the room? Is there anybody you don't know?
A couple people, but I tried to meet them upstairs.
So, as the Citizen of the Year, his friends affectionately refer to him as Mr. Glenview. He lives, eats, and breathes Glenview. One nominator wrote, "He is the lightning rod for positive energy and civic pride," wrote another. Jerry Deach is the very definition of hometown, and not just because he was born and raised here, or because he married his high school sweetheart, or because his friends from childhood are still his best friends today. Or because he's a third-generation real estate broker. It's because Jerry has taken the love for this community to the next level. He wraps his arms around this town every day in words and deeds, wrote Chamber of Commerce President Karen Patterson. As a business owner and realtor, Jerry has a special insight into what makes Glenview tick. He has worked side by side with his parents, Janet and Matt, together providing more than 120 years of real estate experience. He built a reputation over the decades for successful, professional, customer-focused service and earned many industry awards for excellence. As a community leader, Jerry is an incredibly active and involved advocate. He's been a member of the Optimist Club since 1995, served 2 terms as president, and received the Club President's Award 3 years in a row. He served on the Glenview Chamber of Commerce Board for more than a decade, including a term as president, and was named Business Person of the Year in 2016. He also ran the Chamber's Holiday in the Park and Parade for more than 10 years. He has served on the Glenview Park District Strategic Plan Advisory Committee. He helped facilitate community outreach for Glenview School District's 34 Next campaign, and he recently joined the board of Wesley Child Care. Many nominators wrote about Jerry's character. He makes things happen and brings out the best in everyone. He interacts with personally and professionally, noted Optimist Club board member Dan Frazier, and added Patterson, as in Karen Patterson. Jerry is a selfless individual in all aspects of his volunteerism, and he does it with a smile on his face, without seeking self-promotion in turn. If Jerry has a problem, it's that he can't say no. So say yes, Mr. Glenview, to accepting our thanks as Citizen of the Year. And once again, we have another certificate of recognition from our state senator, Laura Fine, and we have another plaque. In honor of your outstanding involvement, selfless dedication, and continuing commitment when providing assistance and care to members of the Glenview community. This award is given with heartfelt thanks from the service organizations and citizens of Glenview. Jerry?
Thank you everyone for being here. First, I would like to thank the Academy and all my directors. No, in all seriousness, I am very honored and humbled by the Glenview Civic Awards for selecting me for this award. Being born and raised in Glenview, I'm blessed to be able to watch my sons Wolfgang and Augustus play on the same ball fields, the same soccer fields that I played on. 2 of my grade school teachers have had the opportunity to teach both of my sons. I want to give back to this community as much as it has done for me and my family over all these years. When I look back at my 25 years of selling real estate, the best piece of advice that I ever received was from my mother and father, who encouraged me to get involved and give back to this great community. We have a saying in real estate: You don't get into real estate gets into you. The same is true for volunteering in this community. Once you start, it becomes very addictive. One of my most rewarding experiences is running the Holiday in the Park parade and seeing all the kids' faces light up when they see Santa. That is truly what it is all about. For all the community members that we have here tonight, I would encourage you to join a service club and find out about all the fascinating people you can meet. How cool is it that you can help your community and learn from the best leaders? When else you have the opportunity to work for the CEO of a huge museum, the president of a large bank, or someone that they've named a school after. Doing this provides a learning opportunity for you to take these quality traits and utilize them in your business and everyday life. Speaking of someone that they've named a school after, when this person calls you and says, I need you to be on a committee, you pretty much say when and where, and you clear your schedule. And that person is Dr. Attio. Also be aware of the people who approach you for joining committees because they can be very creative in getting you to get involved. Like my first Optimist launch. They said, here's Jerry Deach, come to the front. Put your right hand up. Next thing I knew, I was sworn into the club. Who was that person? That person was Lloyd King. And also, when I was coming up through the ropes, learning what to do, I took over a committee from a member, and he pulled me to the side and said, if you take over this committee, you better be serious. This is a reflection on me, the club, and most of all, a reflection on you. This is just as important as your job. And that person was Steve Bachman. What do all these people have in common that I'm mentioning here? They are all past citizens of the year. And I'd like to congratulate them for all. It turns out that these are some of the most positive situations in helping me become a better leader in our community. Speaking of leaders and heroes, we've had some heroes here tonight. Charles Plum was in the U.S. Navy. He was a pilot in Vietnam. After 75 combat missions, he was shot down and had to eject and use his parachute and as he parachuted into enemy hands. Years later, after being a prisoner of war for 6 years, he was eating dinner with his wife. And a man came up and said, hey, are you Plum? And he said, how did you know that? And the man replied and said, I am the guy who packed your parachute. And Plum said, I have been wanting to thank you all my life. If it wasn't for you, I would not be here. His fate was held in the hands of a complete stranger. I would like anyone in this room who has served with me on a local committee, task force, special event, or board to stand up right now. With all of you are the people who have packed my parachute. I know my grandfather, Matthew Deach, would be proud to know that after 70 years, his grandson is still in the same community. I am blessed to be working side by side with my parents and living and giving to this great community. In the Optimist Club, we have the Ralph Lynch Youth Appreciation Awards. And we have a tradition of doing one clap after each thank you. I would like to invite Dan Frazier and my sons Wolfgang and Augustus to stand up and help demonstrate how we do this. To the Civic Awards Committee, especially Lisa Sinisvet, Karen Paskowitz, and Sandy Elliott. To Dan Frazier for pushing me to join numerous committees. To my parents for showing me the way to do business and encouraging me to give back to this community. To my loving wife Carol for all of her support. To my boys Wolfgang and Augustus for knowing why I had to leave baseball and scouts early now. For Michael Macy with Berkshire Hathaway for being an amazing boss and an amazing mentor. For Betsy Bear, Karen Patterson, and the Chamber for the opportunity to run the parade. For Ron Cassidy and the Glenview Optimist Club. For Craig Solomon and Wesley Child Care. For Amy O'Leary and Glenview Youth Services, and especially for letting let me be a chili judge. How many of you I like chili? Also to the Glenview Police, Park District, and Village for the support of the parade and the street sale. And the American Legion for not just service to our community, but service to our country. And last but not least, all the civic-minded citizens of Glenview gathered here tonight. Thank you very much.